So I'm going to talk today about collecting stories in some unconventional ways. This is a picture of me from a very awkward stage in my life. You might enjoy the awkwardly tight cut-off pajama bottoms with balloons. Anyway, it was a time when I was mainly interested in collecting imaginary stories. So this is a picture of me holding one of the first watercolor paintings I ever made. And recently I've been much more interested in collecting stories from reality, so real stories. And specifically, I'm interested in collecting my own stories, stories from the internet, and then recently stories from life, which is kind of a new area of work that I've been doing recently. So I'll be talking about each of those today. So first of all, my own stories. These are two of my sketchbooks. I have many of these books, and I've been keeping them for about the last 8 or 9 years. They accompany me wherever I go in my life, and I fill them with all sorts of things, records of my lived experience. So watercolor paintings, drawings of what I see, dead flowers, dead insects, pasted ticket stubs, rusting coins, business cards, writings. And in these books, you can find these short little glimpses of moments and experiences and people that I meet. And after keeping these books for a number of years, I started to become very interested in collecting not only my own personal artifacts, but also the artifacts of other people. So I started collecting found objects. This is a photograph I found lying in a gutter in New York City about 10 years ago. On the front, you can see the tattered black and white photo of a woman's face, and on the back it says, "To Judy, the girl with the Bill Bailey voice, have fun in whatever you do." And I really loved this idea of the partial glimpse into somebody's life, as opposed to knowing the whole story, just knowing a little bit of the story and then letting your own mind fill in the rest. And that idea of a partial glimpse is something that will come back in a lot of the work I'll be showing later today. So around this time, I was studying computer science at Princeton University, and I noticed that it was suddenly possible to collect these sorts of personal artifacts, not just from street corners, but also from the internet. And that suddenly people en masse were leaving scores and scores of digital footprints online that told stories of their private lives. Blog posts, photographs, thoughts, feelings, opinions, all of these things were being expressed by people online and leaving behind trails. So I started to write computer programs that study very, very large sets of these online footprints. One such project is about 1.5 years old. It's called We Feel Fine. This is a project that scans the world's newly posted blog entries every 2 or 3 minutes, searching for occurrences of the phrases "I feel" and "I am feeling." And when it finds one of those phrases, it grabs the full sentence up to the period and also tries to identify demographic information about the author, so their gender, their age, their geographic location, and what the weather conditions were like when they wrote that sentence. It collects about 20,000 such sentences a day, and it's been running for about 1.5 years, having collected over 10.5 million feelings now. This is then how they're presented. These dots here represent some of the English-speaking world's feelings from the last few hours. Each dot being a single sentence stated by a single blogger. And the color of each dot corresponds to the type of feeling inside, so the bright ones are happy and the dark ones are sad. And the diameter of each dot corresponds to the length of the sentence inside, so the small ones are short and the bigger ones are longer. I feel fine with the body I'm in. There'll be no easy excuse for why I still feel uncomfortable being close to my boyfriend, from a 22-year-old in Japan. I got this on some trading locally, but really don't feel like screwing with wiring and crap. Also, some of the feelings contain photographs in the blog posts, and when that happens, these montage compositions are automatically created, which consist of the sentence and images being combined. And any of these can be opened up to reveal the sentence inside. I feel good. I feel rough now, and I probably gained 100,000 pounds, but it was worth it. I love how they were able to preserve most and everything that makes you feel close to nature. Butterflies, man-made forests, limestone caves, and hey, even a huge python. So the next movement is called Mobs. This provides a slightly more statistical look at things. This is showing the world's most common feelings overall right now, dominated by better, then bad, then good, then guilty, and so on. Weather causes the feelings to assume the physical traits of the weather they represent, so the sunny ones swirl around, the cloudy ones float along, the rainy ones fall down, and the snowy ones flutter to the ground. You can also stop a raindrop and open the feeling inside. Finally, location causes the feelings to move to their spots on a world map, giving you a sense of the geographic distribution. So I'll show you now some of my favorite montages from We Feel Fine. These are the images that are automatically constructed. I feel like I'm diagonally parked in a parallel universe. I've kissed numerous other boys, and it hasn't felt good. The kisses felt wrong, but kissing Lucas feels beautiful and almost spiritual.